Well, we go over now to our Abuja studios where Professor Femi Odekunle joins us. He's a criminologist as well as a public affairs analyst as we continue on our focus on the ongoing national conference. Morning, and thank you for joining us today on Sunrise Daily, Prof. Well, some of the teething problems or the challenges, if you will, with this conference is the voting pattern. Now they have adjourned to resume on Monday. They're talking about seeking memoranda from the public. What do you think about this? Is this the way to go?
Thank you very much. I really don't think it's a way to go. Before I go into that, I want to say that I share the views expressed by somebody like Ajimogobia and the earlier guest, that is Barrister Benson. If you recall, when you invited me months ago with the idea of this conference, I told you it was a good idea, and that the only fear I had would be if the delegates would not engage in pursuit of sectional and a primordial agenda instead of a Nigeria agenda. And I told you that time, this background is necessary, that the agenda of that conference should be how to ensure that the individual interests of Nigerians should be subordinated to that of Nigeria, whether in our politics, whether in our economic relations, whether in our consumption pattern, whether in our cost of governance, enjoyment of social amenities, or the way we deal with corruption. Now, the matters that have come up now suggest that that primordial sentiments are ruling rather than that of the interest of a new Nigeria. You know, you said they are going on break so that they will be able to decide about the voting pattern. Ab initio, I will tell you that as far as I'm concerned, the argument about the voting pattern is an attempt to rig outcome later on, either to make certain things possible or certain things impossible. And that arises from the matter of composition that was being raised, that majority of the delegates are those who have actually ruined this society by their antecedents. You know, it is said that the other man used the matter of leopard, not changing his color. I would say a snake is a snake any day, and that the son of a snake is also a snake. Considering the population of this country, and that we are looking for our future, the modern age of those in that conference should be between 35 and 45, not the past, because we are looking for the future, not those who have brought us to our sorry state. I mean, look at the quantum of traditional rulers, a parasitic class, fairly unproductive, or former governors, or senators, some of whom have cases of corruption against them in society. The composition of this conference does not even reflect the so-called transformation agenda of President Jonathan. So the idea of going about collecting information from the population or memoranda, I don't share it. The reason why I don't share it is because we have enough documents in this country as to the problems we are facing and why we are facing them. We have enough people in that conference, social scientists, activists, who could tell them what the problems are. We have the documents that have been collected via Vision 2010, Version 2020, via NEEDS. We have documents from the Okuromu committee that went all over the country. So I think why they can tell people to submit memoranda, but they don't need to go around, that would be a waste of time. But as far as I'm concerned, these are the issues. But the major issue has to do with the composition and the fact that the agenda of Nigeria is not going to be the issue. The agenda of Nigeria should be, how do we make a better future for our children, for our society, for our polity? I mean, imagine what the traditional ruler of Adamawa said yesterday, that is virtually a Cameroonian, and if Nigeria is fucked up, is messed up, he will go to Cameroon, and where he has does he have allegiance there or what? So that is just a tip of the iceberg of the primordial sentiments of the various groups. Of course, we have people like Akeoyebode, we have people like Odumakin, we have people like Bakare, and their ilk of like mind from other parts of the country. These are the people who we will rely upon to make sure that the darkness that these people want to force on us will be defeated.
Do you think that his comments will change anything? The comment of the Lamido.
What did you say?
Do you think the comment of the Lamido will affect anything at that conference?
No, it's not whether it will affect or it will not affect. Definitely, some people have been saying, let everybody go to digest Israel. If he's saying that, then the people of the Niger Delta will now say, okay, we too, we are going to drink our oil. And the Yorubas can say, well, the issue is this: we want to economically integrate our southwest and be as good as we were during Awolowo's time. And the Igbo will say, well, just give us one more state and the economy, and we'll do well. What I'm trying to suggest is that that kind of statement does not help. And to tell you the truth, if I'm allowed to say, it is highly irresponsible of a Lamido to talk like that in that kind of situation and in the context of our country. Particularly since his country of the country is suffering from Boko Haramism. So I don't think so, but
that's a no-go area for the conference. So maybe that kind of comment may not pop up again.
What did you say?
That's supposed to be a no-go area at the national conference. So you have people who are asking, they said they were not supposed to discuss the indivisibility of the country, and as such, those kind of comments perhaps should not pop up again. Okay, let me say this one. I do not support the idea of a no-go area.
Why?
But since the president instituted his, enjoyed his powers to say this is what you can discuss, what you cannot discuss, be that as it may, people will still discuss what they want to discuss. I don't agree with the president because people must, free of their own mind, agree to say we want to stay together or we don't want to stay together. And I believe that most Nigerians want to stay together. And if they are allowed to talk about it, it will be in the interest of Nigeria, of everybody, that to discover that actually we want to stay together. But to say that people should not discuss that is out of unnecessary fear. And I would think that regardless of what the president has said, directly or indirectly, they are going to discuss the future of Nigeria, which include is going on. I don't think anybody would discuss it's not going on. People will just say, well, if you want us to go along, you have to do A, B, C, D.